Hey guys, it's Manga Girl. This video, just to let you know, spoiler alert if you haven't seen the title, which you probably would have, but serious spoiler alert. Um, this is the manga from the original series of Yu-Gi-Oh, which this series was produced into an anime, but it was never translated as to dubbed through 4Kids or anything. Um, there are a few theories why. My personal theory, which I think is the best fitting theory, is basically it was extremely violent. Um, and if anyone sort of follows the anime and stuff and they've seen the subbed versions and compared to the dubbed versions, you will notice that 4Kids do cut out certain clips, shall we say, of what could be portrayed as violence, like punching or whatever. They always cut that kind of crap out. And obviously, so if they got a hold of the anime for this series, I think that they would have had an extremely difficult time trying to edit it because pretty much all of it was pretty badass. But yeah, my overall opinion of the anime. The first couple of books, the drawings are a little sort of weird, as you can see there. Like Junichi or Joey, he has like a sort of parting in his hair, and Honda or Tristan, he looks kind of the same. Anzu or Taya, she looks sort of the same. Yugi's hair is sort of, it's not like defined. It's like very rounded and sort of curly haired and stuff. And as you can see, the picture of the ferret at the front, that's a bit sort of weird-ish. Yeah, you can see in there. There's Yugi's very. So his hair isn't very defined. It's not like Spike. Side spikes. It's very random. Kind of looking. But yeah. And that's the guys. Yeah. I'll show you a little bit of it, which show you how it's violent. First off, guy licking knife. um. And Yugi solves the puzzle. It shows all of that in the manga of how it happened and stuff. And then dun 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 dun, Pharaoh is born. Well, not born. He's sort of resurrected. Yeah, this is quite violent. This was on the anime as well. Pretty much. Yeah, it's just like stab the money, bitch. It's like look at that, he just stabbed through his hand and stuff. And quite weird. But yeah, it is really violent, but it's what annoys me about 4Kids is that they got the episodes that they did and translated it and stuff, so it was dubbed. But what annoys me is they changed it so what us Americans or British people, or French people, whatever, believe is that it's for kids, but it's actually not supposed to be for kid. The manga and the anime, the manga is rated T for teen, and some of the books are rated MT for mature teen because it's that bad. And the anime is rated for PG-13 kind of thing, or 15 or something. Most of it, some of it. But yeah, this first series all explains all about how Yugi met his friends, complete the Millennium Puzzle, and also there's this little scene there. Taya has a gun to her head, which is quite violent. So yeah, yeah. But this is a really great series. The anime, I would say watch it to go with it. But obviously, there's no dub, so just watch the subbed. If you don't like watching sub, then obviously don't watch it. But I would say watch it anyway. Give it a shot. And also in here, compared to the anime that's dubbed, Kaiba, what actually happens about the blue eyes, Gramps' blue eyes, is in this series, in the second book, I think, possibly. Basically, Yugi brings in the blue eyes white dragon to show all his friends, and Kaiba's like, oh, let me see, and then he's like, oh, There you go. And Yugi's a bit suspicious, and then after school he's like, oh, well, I know you switched it. This is a fake. I want my blue eyes. And Kaiba's like, ah, boom, on the floor with his briefcase, I think. He brings a briefcase to school, Very confusing. Anyway, yeah, and then he, the pharaoh comes out and is like, obviously he's not known as the pharaoh, he's just a creepy spirit who likes to kill people. Basically, that's what this series pretty much says, so, yeah. But, yeah, pretty much, sorry, I just got distracted by the book there. It was quite good. It's been a while since I've read them. It's been a couple of years. But yeah, and Yugi duels Kaiba and then legs and Mind Crush, sort of the thing that you saw in the anime, but actually that's not supposed to be there. In the manga, it's actually supposed to be in the original series. Book 3 to 2, maybe. Yeah, and he sort of puts him in a comatose kind of state where he's just like a was like, kind of thing. And then Kaiba sort of awakens and he gets his own back. I think. No, he doesn't get his own back. No, he doesn't. No, wait. I'm so confused. No, he isn't in a comatose state then. He ends up making this weird arcade game and says to Yu-Gi-Oh, come and play. And he does kind of, and basically it's like a game of life or death. I mean, he gets murderers to go after Yugi and stuff, and it's quite bad. It's pretty dramatic. And also, that's in book 4, by the way, I think. Also, in book 4, which if anyone's read the manga and they've noticed, Yugi has diabetes because there's a bit in the book where they think that Honda or Tristan dies, and Yugi's like, oh my god, what have I done to her? And then Joey's just like, oh, hey Yugi, you okay? You need your insulin or something? So it's like, he's diabetic, but it's never ever mentioned ever again. So I don't know, but yeah, Yugi's diabetic. Yeah. But yeah, I would say read the anime if you want to read the manga. Also, Bakura, he actually plays. Bakura is introduced in this rather than in the anime. He's introduced into like the second episode, I think, of the dubbed version. Of the Duelist kind of thing, when Duelist Kingdom first started, kind of thing. But actually, he was introduced into this, and he invited Yugi and his friends to play an RPG game, and then their souls got sucked into the game, and they played these weird characters and stuff. And they had to defeat like the demon of the game called Zork, which obviously ties into the Millennium series, the last arc. And yeah, that happens in these series, like the last couple of books, like 6 and 7, or just 7. But yeah. And then obviously the anime sort of it doesn't show that in the original series of this series of the anime. It shows it in the first series of the dubbed anime, where they're obviously transformed into Dark Magician, into the cards themselves, the characters of the cards. So it sort of relates to that. It's a little bit muddled up, but it's understandable. Anyway, moving on. Sorry, I've like rabbled on for about like 10 minutes or something. But anyway, now this is Yu-Gi-Oh! Duelist. This is where it sort of kicks off with Duelist Kingdom and stuff. And also, it doesn't start off with Kaiba, like mind crushing and stuff, because it's obviously in the original series. But it starts off as Yugi duels Pegasus, and it's like given like a little cassette. It's like meant to be a videotape. It's meant to be like a micro videotape or something. And I think that was only like popular in Japan, because I've never heard of anything like that, which is a bit weird. But anyway, yeah, they watch the tape and then he duels them and stuff, and this and the other. And obviously Yugi's soul gets trapped. Yugi's grandpa's soul, gets locked into the TV. But in the anime, his soul is just taken and Pegasus puts in a card. But what actually happens in the anime, in the manga, sorry, I'm getting my words mixed up now. Is that his soul is locked into that little videotape. And Yugi, while at Duelist Kingdom and stuff, he brings a portable video player kind of thing. He just puts the video and tape in there and just says, "Hey, Grams, halfway through Duelist Kingdom, what's up? What's up?" Kind of thing. And that's actually what happens. And also, in the manga, in the anime, it's like big duel stadiums, but actually, in the manga, it's just little boxes, hologram boxes, which, if I take, let's have a look. I'm trying to show a good example. Bear with me a minute. Okay, I found it, guys. If you have a look on the bottom screen, bloody hell, you can't even see it. Give me a minute. I'll just put it in focus. If you have a look there, it's actually just a big box, and if it's the pages the wrong way. Basically, they just sit, and it's just like little a mat that they play on, which is like, that's my phone. It's a holographic mat, and basically just little monsters come out. It's not like huge monsters, it's just like a little monster, maybe about like the size of like that big or something. So I just put that back into focus. There we go. No, that's not right. There we go. So it is a little different. Yeah. And it's, I mean, the drawing is a lot better. It looks more like the anime that we came to know and love. And it is good, and obviously the Pharaoh's finding himself and stuff. And obviously it goes from book 1 to book 24. And it goes through Duelist Kingdom, and then it goes through to Battle City, where it's the last where Yugi gets all 3 Egyptian god cards, and then you can go to the stone tablet and and regain his memories. But basically, here's another thing as well. In the anime where Pegasus lost the duel to Yugi at the end of Duelist Kingdom, Pegasus goes to steal. Bakura steals Pegasus' Millennium Eye, but in the manga, Bakura actually murders Pegasus, and it's all a mystery of how he died and stuff. And then his goons or whatever think that he died over sadness or a broken heart or something like that. But yeah, I mean he was murdered. And he was so obviously he was dead. That was it. He was dead. But in the anime, obviously he wasn't dead, which I can understand why, because then they used him in obviously Yu-Gi-Oh GX, and also he was used in Waking the Dragons, the anime, Waking the Dragons, because there's actually no manga of that. So he was obviously used further on in the anime. And then we move on to, this is sort of supposedly, it was meant to be the last series. This is Yu-Gi-Oh Millennium World, where the Pharaoh goes to regain his memories, which is quite good. That's the Pharaoh, the wonderful Pharaoh, in his all powerful glory and stuff. It ties almost pretty much close to the anime, and the artwork is beautiful. There's the Pharaoh on the I can't even speak, on the throne. And it is pretty good. It is really good. And obviously, also, Zorik, that was mentioned in the original series, where Bakura was introduced then, and he made them play an RPG game, and they were trapped, and Yugi and his friends were trapped in the game. They had to battle Zorik, which tied into this. This is book 1 of 7, and it is really, really good, and that's meant to be the end of the series of Yugi, but the anime, to prolong the series, I'm guessing, Kazuki Takahashi's choice, more than likely, I imagine, they changed it from Battle City won the cards, and then to Waking the Dragons, where it was darts with obviously Atlantis and stuff like that, and we're getting souls, and then Pharaoh turned evil, and then it like proved that he was okay and stuff. Yeah, that was not a manga. That was just sort of introduced as a new story as an anime, and also I can't place the name of the series off the top of my head. But it's after that one, where if I remember correctly, it's just like a side story after waking the dragons, and Kaiba like opens up a new tournament and stuff. And it's just like a quick tournament. But Yugi doesn't duel through the tournament. He's like, oh well, if you guys, get through the final, then you'll battle Yugi and stuff, for the title, for the chance of the title, and obviously it doesn't happen. But yeah, it's good. And then it goes to that, obviously. And also, I think it was a year ago when I got the series. I'm not sure. But this is a new manga. Obviously, it has never been released to an anime, but this is a new manga that Kazuki Takahashi actually drew. Which it was after he started Yu-Gi-Oh 5D. And it's basically a side story. I'm not sure when it's meant to slot in, really. But basically, it's basically all these goons who are after Yugi because they're convinced that it's Yugi's fault that Pegasus died and stuff, and they're trying to get loads of people's souls or something to try and resurrect Pegasus again, and obviously it doesn't work, and this guy's just gone bitch-ass crazy. But yeah, it's over 5 books, I think, or maybe 6, but the last book is like probably about twice the size of that, so it's a good read. I wasn't all that keen on this manga. I mean, it is really well drawn, the art is beautiful. I just wasn't all that keen on it because it was for me, it was quite a poor side story. I mean, that makes me sound really bad because I do love Yu-Gi-Oh! But yeah, I mean, I wasn't all that keen on it. Yeah, I'm not. That's pretty much what I wanted to review. Just the original story, background story of Yu-Gi-Oh. Where the Pharaoh came from and stuff. I think, in my opinion, it's a great anime, and even better, a great manga. Some of the storylines are changed around a little bit, which I've explained. But I think overall, it is really good, and I would recommend absolutely reading the manga. I wouldn't recommend buying all the books because it comes to something like £250 here. I think something like $300, over in the US. So, it's if you have the money, go right ahead. But I would just recommend just reading the pages online. It's probably a bit easier. But make sure you don't come across any doujinshi. Doujinshi? Yeah, doujinshi. Because I was like trying to look for Yu-Gi-Oh! R instead of buying it, and then I came across something very disgusting called doujinshi. I'm just gonna write it. Actually, no, I was gonna put it there so you know, but why should I tell you? Because I'm not recommending you look at the doujinshi. It's yeah, it's like Yu-Gi-Oh! Porn in a manga, which is kind of weird, and I came across that and it was really freaky. But anyway, yeah, this is the review. I'm not gonna review Yu-Gi-Oh! GX because personally, I like the original series. I tried to watch Yu-Gi-Oh! GX. I tried so many times. I mean, I understand the story. The story seems alright, but it wasn't really my kind of taste. And Yu-Gi-Oh! 5D, I actually quite like that, but I haven't reviewed the manga because it's kind of it's very different from the anime, so it's kind of hard. But yeah, I would probably say yeah, check out Yu-Gi-Oh! GX, but I don't. Yeah, Yu-Gi-Oh! 5D, yeah, but also Yu-Gi-Oh! Zexal. I gave that a chance, a big chance. I went through like the 3rd series or something. That on the 3rd series, it was subtitled. It wasn't dubbed yet. But if you've never watched Yu-Gi-Oh, yeah, try Yu-Gi-Oh! Zexal. But take it with a pinch of salt, I would say. But yeah, I would definitely totally recommend like reading the manga of this series and then reading the anime, because I think it's pretty good. And by the way, yes, I have bags under my eyes because I'm very tired and I've been working like so much. I was gonna quit my job and then financially I would be fucked. So, but yeah. Anyway, that was pretty much it. So, it's Manga Girl. Peace out.